Alright, let's see how fast I can do this video because I had to make pumpkin pies tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to this Grim Dawn Basics video. This time we're going over energy regeneration. Energy regen is a stat that is mostly moderately important. It's either completely unimportant to your build or you kinda need it. And a couple builds like my Albrecht's Aether Ray guy here depend on it. It's practically the main DPS stat for an Albrecht's Aether Ray build, and you need a lot of it to counteract the beam's actual energy costs per second. Energy regen, it's found on most pieces of gear. You can find it on weapons, offhands, rings, helmets, amulets, gloves. I think there's probably some boots out there that have it. It can be found probably on belts somewhere. It can be found on your relics, medals. I'm sure there are pants with it. And even if you don't find it on a specific piece of gear in those slots, odds are you can get a prefix suffix that will have energy regen for almost every slot in the game. But the big one is your chest piece. There are three kind of levels for energy regen on a chest piece. There is a lot, which is about 6 generally. There is moderate, which is about 3 generally. And then there's none, which is about 0. Now I say about 0 because you can get a little energy regen from crafting a chest piece if you have Duncan the Arcane Blacksmith. The other really big piece of gear that will give you a lot of energy regen is a caster offhand, predictably enough. So a green, blue, or purple caster offhand, most likely going to have a lot of energy regen, and these two together will give you your base increase to your energy regeneration. Energy regeneration is also affected by the spirit stat. So if you are a build like Albrecht's Aether Ray that relies really heavily on it, you're probably going to invest a lot of points into spirit to get that bonus energy regen. Now you don't have to, and a lot of people would say don't do it and put all those points into physique just so you'll live, but for builds that are supremely dependent on energy regen, I do recommend investing in spirit. So we're going to equip some gear in this video that has energy regen on it, and we're going to get this energy regen up from 50 to well over 200. And the first piece of gear we're going to equip is this Elite Legion Vestments. So you can buy caster chest pieces or craft them to get your energy regen going, and it's a good way to start into like optimizing an Albrecht's Aether Ray build. Now I will mention that this is at level 85, and most of what I'm talking about applies to just lesser numbers, lower numbers, as you progress through the game. So very early game, you're probably not going to worry about energy at all. But if you do start to worry about it a bit, you'll be able to pick up a caster chest piece. It'll have a couple points of energy regen on it, and then you can build from there. So after that, the next big piece of gear is, as I said, caster offhand. So I'm going to throw in this Rawari Spellweaver Codex of Spell Weaving. And we've broken 100 just with these two pieces of gear. And I'm also, I'm not going to do my exact gearing for my Albrecht guy, but we're going to throw on an Elite Legion Mantle for a bit more energy regen. And we're going to throw on the Outcast Secret, because it also has energy regen. So we're up to 136, which is not bad. And then we're going to throw on our Aether Reach. You can find energy regen on gloves easily. And we have our Albrecht's Dualities. Very close to that 200 mark. And then I'm also going to throw on my Mark of Divinity. Now, energy regen, and we've broken 200. Energy regen can be found on components. Specifically, Mark of Illusions has it, but also Arcane Spark has it. By going Mark of Illusions, Arcane Spark on your ring, medal, respectively, you can get a nice chunk of energy regen. You'll also find it, oh, I totally forgot about it, that it was on the weapon too, because components and augments can have energy regen. So this Warp Fire actually had 1 energy regen per second. So really that 50 starting wasn't an honest, and I apologize for that, wasn't an honest representation of base energy regen, but whatever, it was close enough. And then the augments here also have energy regen. So we've broken 200, and there's one other thing I do want to mention about energy regen, and that is Iskander's Elemental Exchange. So when you get Iskander's Elemental Exchange really high, you get a lot of % energy regen. So for us, yeah, we did drop below 200, but if we were to fire up Iskander's Elemental Exchange, we're almost to 300. And actually, I think we can break 300 with that previous setup we had on energy regen. And this means that Albrecht's Aether Ray, we can mitigate a lot of the costs of it right now. But if you watch, we'll get our energy back very, very quickly. It took me longer to say that sentence and get the energy in our energy bar back. And in case anyone was wondering what just this like 68 base with the caster offhand looks like, yeah, we're burning down our energy, and then it'll take forever to climb back up. But if we were just to slap all this crap in here and then turn on Iskandra's, yeah, we get it back almost instantly, because having a lot of energy regen is important to an Albrecht's Aether Ray build. And to most caster builds, having a good source of energy regen is really important. Now, you don't need the min-max for it. If you overgear for it, you will take away from your character's other statistics. So the only build I can think of that actually needs like 200... Oh, and you can in Devotion as well, I forgot about that. That needs like 282.25 energy regen is Albrecht's Aether Ray. Most builds could stand to have maybe like 150 if you really do need it. Otherwise, you'll probably only need a little bit of it to keep yourself topped off. And some easy places in Devotion to grab it are on the Dryad. It's on the 2nd node. And on the Raven, it's on the 2nd node. It's also on Scholar's Light. And Oak Lane's Lantern ends on it as well. And I don't remember if it has it... It has it on its 1st node. So these are some pretty common places I go when I need energy regen, which is pretty much this build, in all honesty. Most builds, like I said, if it's a necessary stat, you're probably not going to run this much, but most builds are just going to need a little bit of it. So if you need a little bit, you can use those Devotion constellations and get to them fairly easily. And you can use some of the components, augments, and gear slots to get it. So that's going to cover my Grim Dawn Basics video on energy regeneration. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys next time.